Hi guys, now it's for the Latihan Supulo. So for the first question, um, it's basically about a software and hardware issue. So for 35 calls are related to software and the technician resolved the issue with a mean time of 18 minutes with a standard deviation of 4.2, while 45 calls related to hardware were made with a mean time of 15.5 and a standard deviation of 3.9. Okay, so from here, we're gonna determine that the h no is mu1 equals to mu2, and the h1 is mu1 is bigger than mu2 because of this right here. Takes longer to resolve software issues. Okay, so for b, it's gonna be to the right because it's bigger, so it's gonna be on this side of the graph. And we're gonna use z here because the sample is more than 30. Okay, so the formula is this: x bar 1 x minus x bar 2 over this one. The confidence level is 95% because it's written here. 0.05 is 95%. And you're gonna get this. This is just like the table in the first video. And then, oh yeah, the picture is gonna be like this, as I said before. It's gonna be one tail. You're just gonna ignore this because it's gonna be only to the right. And this is the 0.05. And then for G, the decision rule is to reject if Z is bigger than this one. It's from here because it takes longer, which means bigger. Now for H, you just put in the numbers and you will get this one. With this, we can determine that we can reject H null because it is bigger than 1.645. And the business conclusion is that it takes longer to resolve software issues. Okay, now for the next number, it's about a limousine company from the airport, from the city hall to the metro airport. There are two routes, Route 25 and Interstate 75, and these are the sample given. We have like 7 here and 8 here, so it's different. And oh yeah, the numbers I kind of changed it up a bit because I can't really read this one, so we're just gonna use this, okay? So it might be different compared to the answer sheet that was given by Ibu Sander. So for the hypothesis, it's gonna be the variance. Is there a difference in variance? So the H null is the variance is equal to each other, and the H1 is that it's not equal to each other. Okay, so we're gonna use two tail because the alternative is not equal. We're gonna use the F test because we're gonna compare two variances. And this is the formula for F test. We're gonna do, oh, for the confidence level it's 90%. It's from the question. It's this one. And the critical value you have to divide by 2 because it is a two-tailed. So it's gonna be here and here. And yeah, I think that's all. And then we're gonna use the F table. So because it's F 0.95, it's gonna be 0.05 on the table, and 6 will be the numerator and 7 will be the denominator. So we're just gonna jump into the table. 0.5 is the second row, and the numerator is 6, and the denominator is 7. It's gonna be here. 7, 0.05, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.87. So yeah, the critical value of 3 is 3.87. Now we're gonna reject if it is bigger than 3.87 because yeah, that's just how it is. And oh, it's bigger than because we're just gonna use the right side of the thing. I don't really know why I was learning using ChatGPT. Okay, so you just put in this, the s you can get from your calculator, and yeah, you just square it by 2, and yeah, you will find 2.267. And it is not bigger than 0.87, so we do not reject. And the conclusion is that the variance at 0.1 significance level is pretty much the same, according to ChatGPT. Okay, on to the third question. The third question is about mm, the proportion of consumer and CEO who believe in fear of getting caught or losing a job. So from the question, we found out that 57% of consumers are scared of losing their job, while 50% of CEO are scared of losing their job. And there are a sample of 755 consumer and 616 CEOs. Okay, so here's what's given. We have the confidence level of 90%. Yeah. Now, the hypothesis is that P1 minus P2 equals to 0, so there's no difference. And this one, there is a difference. That the consumer has a higher chance. I think it's from the question. Oh yeah, here. A significantly higher proportion of consumers than CEO believe in fear of getting caught or losing one's job. So yeah, basically it means that the odds are higher. Okay, so is it one tilt or two tilt? It's gonna be one tilt to the right. Sorry, it's a typo here. Should be one. And then the statistics we're gonna use Z because we have two independent samples, and P1 is this one, P2 is and this one here is pooled proportions. We're gonna talk about it later. Confidence interval is from this. Critical value is from the table before. Rejection rule. You reject if Z is bigger than the critical value. Because it's, yeah, it's written on the question. Okay, so now how to do pool proportion is just you combine them combine one another, and you'll get the proportion of 0.538. Now you just put in all the numbers, this, and this, and you'll get 2.59. Is 2.59 bigger than 1.28? Yes. So we reject H now. And the conclusion is at 10% significant level, consumer shows significantly higher proportion than CEO. Okay, now on to the last question for the third Latihan or the Latihan 10. A study was conducted to investigate the effectiveness of hypnotism in reducing pain. Results for randomly selected subjects are shown in the table below. The before value is matched to an after value, and the difference are calculated. The differences have a normal distribution. So, mm, I don't really know about this, but according to ChatGPT, we ignore all this because we'll use the difference. And they also have the the significance level and the measurement and all. Oh, sorry, the hypothesis. It is lower, so it's gonna be one tilt to the left. Okay, so what's given is the I here is the difference. I was just writing it down here, and is the number of data. Um, D bar is basically like X bar, but it's for the difference according to ChatGPT, average difference, as you can see here. And SD is the standard deviation. You can use your calculator. And SE is standard error, where it is standard deviation over root of n. So basically just 2.9114 over square root of n, which is 8. Okay, so now the hypothesis. The H null is mu equals to 0, while the H1 is less than 0. It's lower. Okay, now the one or two tail is going to be one tail to the left, which test is t because we only have a sample and it is less than 30. And the formula is, it is basically the same thing. The d here was supposed to be x x bar, but yeah, because this the question here stated d, so we're just going to use d. The confidence level is from the question. Critical value, you use the t table, and it gives you this one. And the decision is to reject h null if t is smaller than this one. And to find t, you just put it into this formula, and you will get this one. And because this one is smaller than this, as you can see here, so we reject h null. So the sensory measurements are lower after hypnotism at 5% significant level.